We go to chapter 19, legal controls over employment. When we talk about legal controls, we're talking about different government laws that have been made to guide employment policies of businesses. So without government, without these laws, businesses might exploit workers. They might not treat workers fairly. They might discriminate on workers. So, but because there are laws that guide what they do, because there are laws that guide the activities of employment, so it becomes difficult for businesses to go against those rules or laws. So for government, legal controls over employment. Government often pass legislation to protect people at work. Without such protection, some businesses would exploit their workers. They will cheat workers. They might pay low wages. They might not pay workers minimum wages. Make them work long hours without rewarding them. Deny them employment rights. They might not be promoted. Expose them to danger. The health and safety might not be taken care of. Discriminate against certain groups or dismiss them unfairly. Without this legislation, workers might be dismissed unfairly without any justification. So these are reasons why legal controls are important. So we go to what are equal opportunities. So when we talk about equal opportunities, it simply means that workers should be given equal chances, irrespective of who you are, where you are from, your color, whatever it is. You have the same chance like any other potential employee. So if you are applying for a job and I am applying for a job, I should be given the same treatment as you will be given. That is what the point is about that. So here they say businesses have to make choices when recruiting staff or selecting employees for promoting or training. Choosing one person rather than another based on characteristics is known as discrimination. If a business chooses a person because they are more skilled and better qualified than another, this would be legal. So there's discrimination. Discrimination is important. It's part of organization settings because every organization wants the best for their company or for their organization. So if I have to choose between you and her or between you and him, then I'm choosing you because of what you have, because of the kind of value you bring to the organization. I've discriminated, but this is a legal discrimination because I'm choosing you because you are the best among the rest. I'm not choosing you because of your age. I'm not choosing you because you're so beautiful. I'm not choosing you because you're so handsome. I'm not choosing you because you are from my country. I'm not choosing you because of that. I'm choosing you because of the value you're going to add to the organization. So that is legal discrimination. I think it's clear. I think it's clear, right? But it is illegal to discriminate based on gender, based on race, based on disability, sexual preference, religion, or age, which I just told you now. So if you are discriminating because of these things, then it is illegal. So then the legal control takes place. I think that is clear. So we go to gender discrimination, sometimes called sex discrimination, usually true, not exclusively. Of course, when a woman in the workplace does not receive equal treatment because she's a female. So when we talk about gender discrimination, so it means that I'm not giving you the equal chances. I'm not giving you the equal opportunity because you're a woman or because you're a lady or because you're a female. So this is discrimination, gender discrimination. Is it clear? Is it clear, please? So they say in many countries, laws have been passed to help deal with the problem of gender discrimination. Yeah, there are different ways in which gender discrimination can be corrected. So they said advertisement for job must specify a particular gender. So a business is not allowed to target job advert at either a man or a woman. Both genders must have equal opportunity in appointment. So you don't say, oh, female strictly for female. No. Male and female should have equal opportunity. References to work titles in job adverts must be genderless. You must not say, oh, we want a policeman or a policewoman. We say we want a police officer. So that means you have taken the gender preference away. Not say a salesman or saleswoman, salesperson. It means you have taken the gender preference away. I think it's clear. Promotion must not be made on the basis of gender, and people cannot be dismissed because they are male or female. So you should not promote me because I'm a male, and I should not promote you because you are female. I should promote you because of the effort you have put into the organization. I think it's clear. So I must not dismiss you from job because you're a woman. No, I shouldn't do that. And you should not dismiss me because I'm a man too. I think it's clear. you have any question about that?
No.
So we have the Sex Discrimination Act of 1975. It's just about in the course of recruitment and selecting workers. You must not select them based on the ground that they are women. You must not select them based on the ground that they are men. So you might be the human resources manager and you're a woman. You now prefer choosing women. That is discrimination. That is what we're talking about. I think it's clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Then we have the Equal Pay Act of 1970. This is talking about payments, the salary, the reward for each worker must not be based on either if it's a woman or a man. I think it's clear. Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
Any question about that?
No.
Then go to race and religion. Businesses must ensure that they do not discriminate on grounds of color, race, ethnic origin, religion, or nationality. We must not discriminate on that. We must not choose workers based on their religions. We must not choose workers based on their race. We must not choose workers based on their nationality. We have to choose them based on the ground that they qualified. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
So that's all about that. It's a business cannot prevent employees from wearing ethnic or religious dress, such as Sikhs wearing turbans or Muslim wearing the burqa or whatever it is. The use of selection tests must be monitored to ensure that their style do not discriminate against people from minority backgrounds. What they are saying here is that when you have to give them tests during the interview, don't give them tests that is restricted to their own belief. So, don't give them, like, they are Muslims. You now start giving them tests about Christianity. It should be on the ground of secular. It should be questions that relate to employment. Is it clear?
Yes.
Businesses must take into account the religious holidays of ethnic groups. We must put into consideration that there are holidays, which are like the Christians, they have the Christmas, they have the New Year, they have the Easter. The Muslims, they have the Eid, Kabir, Eid, Fitri. So all these things, whenever you set up your business, you must ensure that all these things reflect in your holidays. So don't say because you're a Muslim, you won't give the Christians that are working with you their holiday. You shouldn't do that. And don't say because you're a Christian, you wouldn't give the Muslims their holiday. You shouldn't do that. It's discrimination. Is it clear, please? Business cannot refuse to employ people from particular ethnic or religious group. Businesses must employ workers based on the ground that they are qualified. Not because, they are from Soman, we have to employ them. Because I'm from Soman or because I'm from Tripoli, I have to employ only Tripolitans. No, you shouldn't do that. I think it's clear. Is it clear, please?
Yes.
We have the case study which you can deal with. Shall we move on? Yeah. Disability is another sort of discrimination. You must not reject workers. You must not refuse to choose workers because they are disabled. Maybe he has a problem with the eyes, or he has a problem. In as much as his disability or her disability is not going to affect the job he or she has to do, then you must not discriminate. I think you understand disability.
Yeah.
They said here, okay. So, legal control, improve access to the workplace by widening doors and providing ramps for wheelchair. So these are the things you can do for disabled employees. Instead of you taking them away, accommodate them by providing them with those things that you think will help them to do the job. I think it's clear. All right. Then the Equality Act of 2010 says a disability is a physical or mental impairment which has a substantial and long-term adverse effect on your ability to carry out normal day-to-day activities. The Act makes it unlawful for business to discriminate on the grounds of disability. So based on the Equality Act of 2010, you must not discriminate against those that have disability. They must have equal rights with those that are able. In as much as what you want them to do, they can do it. Then we have activity 2. It's a case study. With what I've explained, you will be able to get them. Then we have sexual preference. Discrimination against people on grounds of their sexual preference is illegal. It's illegal in some countries. This is because laws have been passed to protect their rights. For example, in South Africa, in 1998, laws were passed to protect all these ones and citizens from employment discrimination. However, it must be remembered that in many countries, the laws may be different. For example, so what we're trying to talk about here is that we should respect each individual gender mentality. You should respect it. That is the point. So you don't discriminate because of that. In as much as they can do what you want them to do, let them do it. So those things are personal, which you must not interfere. That is the point. I think it's clear. Then age. You must not discriminate about age. Yeah, there's a working age. In as much as that individual has reached the working age to do a job, you can give him the job in as much as he qualifies or she qualifies. Don't discriminate about age. Don't say you're not going to give that job because he's too old. Don't say you're not going to give that job because he's too young. Don't do that. In as much as he can or she can do the job, let him or her do the job. I think it's clear. They say it will be illegal to not offer a job to someone on the grounds of age. That's what I just explained. Businesses should take measures to prevent older workers from being harassed in the workplace. They don't say because they are old, you want to disrespect them. They don't do that. Business cannot refuse promotion or training on the grounds of age. Don't say you don't want to train them because they are too old. They will leave the job very soon. No, don't do that. Training is improving their skills, so it will be useful for the organization to train them. Don't say, oh, you only want to train the young ones because they see a future ahead of them. No, you don't say that. It's illegal. Is it clear? A business cannot state that a specific number of years experience is needed to apply for a job. This might disadvantage younger applicants. You don't put age. You don't say, oh, we need 15 to 30 or we need 25 to 30. What about those that are above 30? What about someone that is 31 that might be qualified for that job? So you don't put age preference when you're making a vacancy. Is it clear? So finally, it is in the interest of businesses to follow laws designed to prevent discrimination in the workplace. If they fail to do so, then this is what happens to them. One, be involved in expensive legal battles. Then you have to be going to court every now and then for breaking the rules or laws. Two, fail to recruit or promote the best staff for the post. So if they fail to recruit or promote the best staff for the post, that becomes a problem too. They motivate certain sections of the workforce. Workers are not going to be happy when it's certain that you're not going to promote them, when it's certain that you have not been promoting them, when it's certain that you are denying them their employment rights, when it's certain that the boss, because it's a woman, continue to kick out the males. So, okay. Create unnecessary tension or conflict between employees. This will create problems within, even disagreement between employees, because it will, like, you're making preference to some people, you prefer some to others. Then there will be problem within the organization. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yes.
Any question about that for now?
No.
So generally, owners are free to set levels of pay in their businesses. However, in some countries, government have introduced a legal minimum wage. So when we talk about legal minimum wage, we're talking about the minimum amount that you should pay, the companies should pay employees. That's what we're talking about here. So here they said, this involves passing legislation that means no employer is allowed to pay their workers an hourly rate below the limit set. So you must not pay less than what government has said. So that means the least employee you have, the lowest staff in your organization must not get less than this amount. So if government of Libya sets the minimum wage to be 500 dinars, that means maybe the lowest staff, which could be maybe the cleaners or the gatekeepers or the security guard, they must not get less than that. Anybody must not get less than 500. If it does, then the company is in problems. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So they said, a minority of workers might be excluded from the minimum wage, such as very young workers or those on apprenticeship scheme. Employers face a penalty if they pay wages that are lower than the national minimum wage. Also, workers will be entitled to have arrears of wages repaid at current rates. There are three main reasons why government set legal minimum wage. Before we go there, so there are some people that are exempted from minimum wage, like some young guys, young girls and boys that just finished school and they just want to work to earn money. They are not officially part of employees. So you could choose to pay them whatever because they don't have that ability to do what others would do.
Yeah.
So you exempt them. I think it's clear. And those that are in apprenticeship, so people have to learn through the job before they can get the job. So you might not pay them minimum wage. It's legal not to pay them minimum wage because they are still learning. They are apprentices. So here they said there are three main reasons why government set legal. So why do government set minimum wage, legal minimum wage? Number one, to benefit disadvantaged workers. It is argued that it is argued that people such as women, ethnic minorities, and low-income families benefit from minimum wage. These minority workers are people that don't have large population within their environment or within the community. So, but if government has set minimum wage, you as a business, you would not be able to cheat on them because government has set the minimum wage collectively. That means everyone within that organization, within that country, all citizens in that country, or all workers in that country will have equal opportunity. That is what they're saying there. Government has, in as such as government has set the minimum wage, it means that you cannot pay less than that amount to anyone, irrespective of who the person is. Two, to reduce poverty. When minimum wage is set, it means that even those that feel they will not be able to get a certain amount of money will be able to get it. Their level will become higher, better. As a result, poverty would reduce. What is poverty? The inability to be able to, to feed, to clothe, and to shelter. That is poverty. If you cannot afford these things, it is poverty. But if government has set a minimum wage to some extent, this would allow those that are even poor to have more income. And this would elevate them from poverty. To help businesses, a minimum wage should promote greater equality and fairness among workers. As a result, workers will be better motivated. This should reduce staff turnover and absence and raise productivity. It helps businesses to when government sets minimum wage. So if businesses are paying you the minimum wage, it means businesses are doing the right thing. Government says we should pay this and we are paying it. So workers will be motivated. Workers won't feel cheated. Because they are being paid what the government says they should be paid. So it motivates workers and businesses will be happy to. So workers will not need to leave a company to another for pay rise, to raise their pay. Because when they go there, they're still going to get the same pay. So it's going to reduce labor turnover. Is it clear? Yes. So one of the advantages of minimum wages is that low-paid people receive more money. Yeah, the advantage is that because it is minimum wage, those that are low paid, they are supposed to get lower payment, will be getting more because they are not being paid based on their qualification anymore. They are being paid based on government policies, government rules and regulations. Do you get the point?
Yeah.
Normally, businesses should set the wage range of workers, and that could be done based on qualification. But now that the government has set the minimum wage, it is advantageous to workers that should normally have low wages, because with this, government will be paying, with this, businesses will be paying them more than what they feel like paying them, or they should normally pay them. Is it clear? So effects of minimum wage. Effects of minimum wage laws on businesses. It said if a business employs very large numbers of employees that are below the minimum wage, clearly, clearly their wage bill will rise if a minimum wage is introduced. Also, most government increase the minimum wage every year. Therefore, businesses employing people on the minimum wage will have to match this increase. So if you argue that the introduction of the minimum wage will result in job losses, when minimum wage is introduced, it means businesses must not pay less than that amount. So companies that have large numbers of workers would have high cost of wages, yes or no?
Yes.
And probably government would increase minimum wage virtually every year. So that means for every year that passes by, the wage rate, the cost of wages will continue to mount up for businesses, which might lead to reduction in their profits. As a result of that, businesses might choose to reduce the numbers of workers they have. So that's why they said increase in minimum wage might lead to loss of jobs, loss of job. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is also suggested that higher wages encourage businesses to replace labor with capital and outsource production to countries where labor is cheaper. However, this may not be possible for many sorts of businesses. For example, fast food chains cannot outsource production because they are a service industry. Now, neither can they easily replace customer service workers with machines. Another effect about minimum wage is that businesses would switch from using labor to start using equipment or machines. For those businesses that they will be able to use machines for. But not all businesses will be able to use machines. There are some businesses that need physical conversation between people. Machines will not represent people.
Yeah.
Did you get it? Okay. So that's about that. Now they said there may be some benefits of minimum wages to businesses. One, people on low pay may be better motivated and more productive when they receive a pay rise resulting from the introduction of the minimum wage. We said that earlier. So if there's minimum wage, people that are supposed to be getting less, now they're getting more. They may be motivated and they do more now. They can be more productive because they are getting more than what they are supposed to be getting. Two, low wage earners across the nation will have more disposable income, so demand for many goods and services will rise. This will help drive up sales and profit for some businesses. Because minimum wage has increased, it means your business would also sell more because disposable income will increase. People will be able to spend more. People will have purchasing power. You know, when the minimum wage increases, people will have a lot of money to be able to spend.
Yeah.
So your business will also sell. Businesses across the world, nation will sell because each individual will have pay rise. So disposable income will increase. And if disposable income increases, that means people have the spending power to purchase more. As a result, sales will rise in the economy. Is it clear, right? Is it clear? Wait. So the first benefit of minimum wage is that low paid workers now get more pay. They will be motivated. They could do more. That means they might be more productive. The second one is that the disposable income will increase in the economy. So if disposable income increases, businesses across the nation will witness increase in their revenue because people have more purchasing power. The third one, businesses may experience lower rates of staff absence and better reliability. Workers will not need to leave jobs anymore. And they always want to come to work because their pay is fine than what it used to be. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's all about that. Let's look at the question. They said, which of the following is a possible benefit to a business of the introduction of a minimum wage? A business will be able to employ more women. There will be less administration when taking an employee. Worker motivation might improve since workers will be better paid. Businesses' taxes will be lower.
The B.
The possible benefit to a business.
No, the C, the worker motivation.
Yeah, worker motivation. Thank you.
Yes.
Question 2. It said, according to the graph in figure 19.1, which of the following ethnic minorities suffers the highest level of UK unemployment? 19.1. Let's go back to 19.1. 0.1. Yeah, this is 19.1. No, this is 19.2, 19.1. Hold on, please. Okay, I'll get there now. 19.1. Which page is it? Okay, I got there. So
the question.
Yeah, the question says which group were treated were suffered from okay, just hold on, please. You go back to the question.
Okay. So
yeah,
according to the graph.
Yeah, according to question what? Question 3, right? So according to the graph, according to this graph, which of the following ethnic minorities suffer the highest level of unemployment in the UK? The highest unemployment. So it's Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Bangladesh. I think it's there. So is there part of the options?
They're not.
No way. They said workers.
Unemployment.
Unemployment.
Yeah. It's why.
Wait, we need to confirm something. Hold on, please. Ethnicity. Okay. Which Let me see the question. Says
Unemployment, so they're not getting employed.
which ethnic minorities? Ethnic minorities. Oh,
Okay.
ethnic minorities suffer the highest level of unemployment. Highest. The Black African Caribbean. Bangladesh is not. No. The Chinese, no. No. Oh, the level, we have 5% unemployment. The white have 5%, the mixed 11, the Indian 5, 13%. This is the highest. That's the highest. It's the Bangladesh. They have 13%. And which is the highest? What are the options here?
Pakistani, Black and African Caribbean.
No.
Chinese white.
No. No. It's the Bangladesh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do the 3.
Yeah, that's question 3. Yeah, they said, which of the following is a motive for the introduction of minimum wage? Why do government bring up minimum wage? To reduce poverty, to encourage the employment of more female workers, to encourage the employment of more workers from ethnic minorities, improve the productivity of workers.
To reduce poverty.
To reduce poverty, thank you. The last one, they said, in a job advert, a business states that applicants must have at least 10 years work experience. This is an example of discrimination on the ground of which characteristic? At least 10 years.
Can you read it again? I wasn't
They said, in a job advert, a business states that applicants must have at least 10 years work experience. This is an example of discrimination on the grounds of which characteristics?
Neither of them.
Age.
Wait, 10 years.
At least 10 years experience.
But this is about experience, not about.
Yeah, it's numbers of years you've worked.
Oh.
The numbers of years you've worked, yes.
I thought it was like their own age.
No, it's numbers of years you've worked.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
So that's about chapter what is? Chapter 20, 19, right? Okay, so